Hello, everyone. How are you? Okay. I hope you can hear me. I'm not using my AirPods tonight. There we go. How are you? I hope everyone's doing well. This is streaming live. Yeah, Julie, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Kevin Costner is not here. Kevin Costner is not here. I do have a funny story to tell about Kevin Costner. Not really have to do with Kevin Costner, but we went out for dinner with some friends on Saturday night. And if you're in the Calgary area and you've never been to the Bav Tav in Banff, I cannot give it enough love. It's the Bavarian Tavern in Bragg Creek. It's absolutely amazing, and it's called the Bathtub, and it's been around for like 46 years. My first time out there. So anyhow, my friends and I and Glenn, we all went out there, and my friend jokingly said to our waitress, "Has Kevin Costner been here yet?" And without even skipping a beat, our waitress goes, "No, but Jason Priestley from 90210 was here 2 nights ago." We're like, wow. Anyhow, I just thought it was really funny. We're like, well, that's interesting. So, but no Kevin Costner, unfortunately, no. But thank you to those who sent me photos. I enjoyed seeing your photos. So, hello. Hello, Stephanie. Hi, Mari. Okay, so it's been a couple of weeks since I've done Monday Night Live. One of them was a long weekend, and I don't generally do a Monday Night Live on a long weekend. And then one I just decided not to do for personal reasons. To be completely transparent, I have not been feeling very crafty for probably about 3 months. Have really done nothing except forcing myself to do stuff, and which annoys me. I hate it when I have to force myself to be crafty. Again, I'm still not feeling crafty. I have not done anything to prepare for tonight. So what I wanted to talk about or discuss or share with you on how I try and get myself out of a crafty funk is I create backgrounds. Sometimes I just need to get my craft room in play. Sometimes that's all I need to do. So I'm just going to move my overhead camera into place here, and then I'm going to switch cameras. And I remember the last time we did this camera was giving me some issues. So we're going to hope that the gremlins stay away. There we go. Okay, there's my overhead camera. Let me just turn one of my lights around so we've got a little bit more light. Okay, so one of the things that I try. Let me just go back to your comments there. One of the things I try and do. Oh well, another reason why I'm not feeling crafty, particularly right now, is the weather's really nice, right? And we get so few days of nice weather in this area of Canada that of it. So really beautiful outside. It's like 26 degrees Celsius, which if there's anyone from America watching this and you're wondering what that is, I'm sorry, I can't help you, but it's really nice. And our summers are so short, and the nice weather we get is so few days in the summer that I don't, but I am. Are you? But there you go. Okay, how do I get out of a crafty funk? Not sure if this affects many of you out there. It does affect me some. I find myself more crafty in the winter because it's like minus 8 billion degrees outside. And what else do I have to do but be in my craft room on Netflix and being crafty? But I don't know what's going on with me. I just have not felt crafty. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I don't know what's happening. But some ways I try and get out of a kind of I don't know, I'm just kind of in this not feeling very crafty mood, is I just try to make backgrounds. Like I'll just come in my craft room and I'll make backgrounds. And the backgrounds I usually make are about 6x6. So what this is the Vicky Boutin. This is the Vicky Boutin mixed media paper, her foundations paper. Now this one I have stamped on. This is actually a stamp that I've had for quite a long time and I haven't used it. So I've pre-stamped it with embossing powder and heat embossed it with white embossing powder. And I've got a couple of those. I'm going to try and do a background with those. So I'll do a background 6x6 because what I can do with this is I can cut that down to a tag. Can cut it down. Now sometimes like this one obviously has embossing on it, but I'll also just create backgrounds just on the smooth cardstock, on the smooth foundations paper. And then I'll keep these. And then if I need to die cut out, say like the word thank you or die cut out happy birthday, I'll go to my backgrounds that I've already done and I'll try and find something and I'll die cut my word out of this. I'll just die cut out strips of paper. I'll die cut out squares. So I like having the backgrounds around. Just they'll give me jumping off points. So when I am feeling in a bit of a crafty funk and I don't really know what I want to do or what I want to create, is I'll just create backgrounds. In that way that I don't need to have something finished. I don't need to have a completed project. Hi, Brenda. Backgrounds that I jump into. If I need to make a quick card, if I need a tag for something, I can go through my backgrounds, pick one out, and it's most of the work is already done for me. So to start off, I do have these two 6x6. They are stamped with, let me just grab the stamp here. And this is one that I've had for quite a while. Haven't done anything with. Here we go. It's this one here. And this is from the Beautiful Moodling. It's lovely florals and it's from Studio Light. I'm not sure if we still have this particular one in stock. We've got some of these stamps still in stock. Anyhow, I probably bought this one about 3 months ago and haven't done anything with it. So it is a larger stamp. If you don't have a stamp platform that can handle this, all I did with this one is I flipped it over onto my craft surface. I didn't even take it off the other protective plastic. I took my Versamark, or sorry, I'm not using Versamark. I took my Wow embossing, stamped all over it, and then I just took my paper, laid it on, and pressed it really good, lifted it off, put on my white embossing powder, and heat set it. So that's all I did there. Just going to set that aside. Okay, so I'm starting off. I've got a couple of those, a couple of tags, which I have gessoed. So these are the Dina Wakley mixed media tags, and I've gone over both of these with gesso. So those two, I've got a whole stack of the foundation 6. These are not gessoed or stamped or embossed. They're here beside me just in case I want to grab some of those. And I also have more of the Dina Wakley tags, and these are the plain paper. But I'm just going to set them over there just in case I get inspired. Okay. Now, how many of you have picked up the new Uncharted Mariner from Tim Holtz? That is the newest color. I actually haven't used it that much, so I am going to and try it. So that's the oxide. Trying to, oh, here it is. Trying to find it here. There's the, and I'm also going to pick out, I'm going to grab some vintage photo. And do I want anything else? I don't think I do. Okay, so I've got both the vintage photo and the Uncharted Mariner in oxide and in the inks. Okay, I can see your comments, so if you have any questions, let me know. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to use the inks. Let's do the inks first. So I'm going to, oh, look at that. That is a beautiful blue. That's gorgeous. Uncharted Mariner in the ink. I just realized you can't see that. And I'm going to do vintage photo in the ink. Okay, there we go. Going to take my water bottle, just give that a good spray. There we go. My tag. Just going to lay that in there and just press that down. Liking it already. Let's add some more of that in there. That's looking good. I'm liking that. I'm going to dry the dip again. Just realized I am not wearing my apron. Hi, Jennifer. Better late than never. I do want more of the vintage photo, so I am going to smoosh that a little bit more on there. So like I said, sometimes just to try and be a little bit crafty without, you know, having a game planned in mind, like I need to finish something, sometimes I just make backgrounds. Okay, so far so good. I'm liking this. Now, if I bring it up a little bit closer, you can see my brush strokes of putting my gesso on. I love that. Oh, I just leave the brush strokes. Now the the brush I used to put my gesso on was my Dina Wakley brush. So these are a fairly stiff bristle. So they do leave some really nice brush strokes in it. And I love that. I love the look of it. Okay, so I'm just going to keep dipping and just adding to this. Just add a little bit more. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe this up because I want to add a layer of the same colors, but using the oxides. Let me just wipe that up really quick. So the first ones was Vintage Photo, Uncharted Mariner in the inks, come in with the oxides. Now I'm going to do these one at a time. So let me do my Vintage oxide. Again, we're just going to spray that with a bit of water. Sometimes people ask me, what do I like more? Do I like the oxides or do I like the inks more? Well, they both do two different things. I like the oxides for the blendability of them. They blend absolutely gorgeous because of the pigment in them. So they have this real nice chalky smooth finish when you're blending them. But I like the inks because they are a bit of a brighter, where the oxides can be a little bit chalky. And sometimes people don't like the chalky look of the oxides. But I do like the oxides when it comes to blending. So that's what I've got so far. I think I am going to add in more of the Uncharted Mariner Distress Oxide. So I'm going to smush that down here. It's just such a gorgeous blue. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, another blue, seriously? And then Tim showed what they were doing with it, him and his team, his design team, and I was like, oh my gosh, where has this blue been all my life? It is all about building up the layers. Now, sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes the one thing you have to try and do is know when to stop, because sometimes you can go like one layer too many and you're like, oh, darn it, I probably should have stopped. Now, what I'm going to do, let me just grab this. Just going to lift up. I've got two spray bottles. I've got this one that does a very, very fine spray. And then I have this one, which will give me kind of droplets. And depending on what I want, like this one, I want droplets. I don't want a fine mist spray. So that one I'm going to just spray on. I'm going to come in and lift up some of that, because remember, our oxides and our inks are water soluble, so they will react to water. So there I've got, that's where the water lifted off, so it lifted some of the ink. Oh, I'm liking that. All right, let me give this one final dry. Okay, it's not quite dry, but I am going to just set it aside for a minute there. So there's that one. So all of these up and down lines that you see there, I don't know if you can see that on camera, that is the brush strokes from the gesso. So even that layer of gesso gives you that layer of texture in it. So that's really cool. I like that. Let me just wipe this up. Okay. That one aside here with one of these. So if you weren't here at the beginning, I kind of explained this. This is a 6x6 piece of foundations paper from Vicki Boutin. I stamped it with this stamp here, one of the Mind stamps from Just Lou, and it's lovely florals. It's Studio Light. I've actually bought it quite a long time ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I haven't tried it yet. So I stamped it on this 6x6 piece with Versamark, or my wow embossing powder actually is what I used. And then I heat embossed it with white embossing powder. So let's give that a play. Now I'm going to put these inks away right now because I think I want to use a spray. So let's use, because I have not used Uncharted Mariner enough. Let me see if I can pick another color here. Let's see what we can find in the little bag of tricks. What do I want to use? Oops, these are all mostly my glossies. I don't want to use those. Going to use mustard seed oxide. So mustard seed oxide and distress. And you know, with your, oh, you want me to use taffy? Oh, I can't even see taffy. I know I've got it in here somewhere. Oh, here. Then we use that one. That one was a quick find. It was right there in front and I somehow missed it. Okay, so this one, remember this one, I don't trust myself not to spray on my clothes, and I'm actually wearing a really nice top that I like, so I better put on my apron. Oh, I'd be so mad if I got inks on this. Okay. That's there. So Uncharted Mariner, Saltwater Taffy. Let's use these. Let's see what we get. I'm going to have to prime this one because I don't think I've used it yet. Oh, that's fun. Now, how come you're not working? I haven't had you very long on Chartered or Taffy. Son of a nutcracker. I hate it when these things don't spray. Hey, Wendy, how are you? I love what you just posted in the inspiration group. Oh, this is saltwater taffy in the oxide. That's pretty. Oops, not that one. Oh, that is so pretty. I love the purple it's making as it's mixing. That's fantastic. Oh my word. So we've mixed Uncharted Mariner and saltwater taffy. So does that give us a saltwater mariner? New color. Tim, I have a new color for you. Saltwater mariner or Uncharted taffy. Look at that beautiful purple color. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's not dry yet, but look at that. Oh, that's fun. That is amazing. That is lovely. Oh. Just want to trim. Soak some of that up. It's lovely though. Oh my gosh. Uncharted taffy or saltwater mariner. That's what we're going with here. Yeah, those two colors makes an absolutely gorgeous purple. Look at the purple you get there. I know on camera it's probably not. That actually might be a little bit too bright. I'm going to turn that around. That purple you get is so delicious. I love it. I'm just going to set that there to hopefully let it air dry. But I'm going to bring in this other tag that I've got that is pre-gessoed, and I'm going to use it in this. Move that. Don't worry, I'm going to bring the other one back. Okay, so I'm just going to spray this, and we're just going to pick some of this up. Good base, and then I can add the other two colors back on top. Ooh, oh, that's cool. Well, I wasn't sure which color that would make when you put saltwater taffy and uncharted mariner together, but let me just say that that is gorgeous. That is absolutely lovely. That is a lovely, lovely color. Add anything to it, it's pretty. Okay, let's bring this one back. Look at that. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, I'm going to clean up this mess. I hate to waste all this ink, but let's just wipe that up here. I love sprays, but man, they go everywhere. Or is that just me? I just spray them all over the place. There we go. Okay, so I do want to come in with yeah, it does look like drag marks. You're right. Yeah. So that's why I love using a stiff bristle brush. If you don't want to, absolutely use a brush and get a much smoother finish. But when you put the inks on and then tip it, it will follow the grooves of your gesso. So it almost looks like a washed out painting. You know, it just looks like a wash, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love that. It's just amazing. Now, I'm just going to dry this one a little bit more because I do some stamping to it. I want to add a little bit more ink to add some layers. So let me just, it's still a little bit wet. There we go. Still have this other one over here drying. We'll get back to that one in a minute. I'm going to go back to this stamp set, this really large stamp, which I believe it's 8x8. So I'm going to turn it over. This is the stamping surface. I am going to use my Gina K amalgam ink because this, once it's heated, is permanent. So I'm going to use this because I want to dry it and then I want to do some more inking over top of it. And I don't want to use a dye ink or an oxide ink because it will just reactivate and it'll just smudge away. So I'm just going to rub this. Now I'm not looking for perfect stamping here. I'm just going to rub that ink over and I'm going to let's lay that in here. Oh, look how fun that is. Oh, I love it. So I've got this area up here. So I think I'm going to come in. I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit there. And oops, helps if you actually ink the stamp in that area. Lovely. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, so there's my background. So I've added a bit of stamping to it. Oops. Get that out of the way. Just going to wipe my stamp up before I move it away here. There we go. Okay, let's bring this back in. Now, I'm not going to use my sprays. What I want to do is I want to use the ink pads. So I am going with my Mariner. Going to give that a spray with water. Oh, look how cool that is. Okay. Added some inking over it again. Now I'm liking it, but I want to bring back in, just need to clean that up. Let me just grab a stencil. Here I was only supposed to be doing backgrounds. Look what you people have done to me. Now I'm getting all crafty. Thank you. See, this is all I needed, is I needed crafty people. Yeah, let's use that one. Don't ask me what this is. I have no idea. I think it might be picket fence. It looks like a picket fence one. Let's bring in our vintage photo. Just a smidge, just another layer. Oh. I'm going to move now. I move that stencil. Oh, that's fun. Oh, Heather's fine. Heather has been in the most beautiful place in the country, sharing pictures on her Instagram story. Plus, she had a birthday. Happy late birthday, Heather. Okay. I like this tag. So this tag I'm going to stop at. I'm going to stop. Do you want it? I'm not going to do anything on it tonight. I might flowers, these giant flowers. What I might do is stamp that stamp on another piece of paper and cut one of those flowers out of that stamp. But there we go. So there's that one. Remember, that's the gesso background. So if you're looking at this and you're like, why does it look like it's got lines in it? That's because of the brush I used to put the gesso on. Gesso is on the first base of that one. So I'm going to set that one aside. Let me just wipe this up. And I'm going to bring back in this one here. So it looks like it's getting to be dry. So there's that one. If you're wondering what this is, it's saltwater taffy oxide spray and uncharted mariner spray stain. So it's a mix of an oxide and a stain. And I did spray this a lot, so it's still wet. But there you go. That turned out so well. I'm actually really, really loving that. That turned out really well. Okay. There's that first one I did. Remember that one with all the layers? Love that one. Love the splatters. And I'm loving this one. Now, let me bring in, I'm just trying to find it here. Here it is. Here's this one. So this is another 6x6 piece of foundations paper that I have stamped with my Mindful Moodling, with my Wow Embossing ink, and it has been heat embossed with white embossing powder. Okay, so I've done that. Now, what I want to do, I'm hoping this yellow is working. Sorry, just looking for I'm looking for another one. Ooh. We'll see if this one works. Maybe barn door. I'm going to use barn door. Oh, there we go. Oh, those are fun. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is gorgeous. There you go. Now I'm going to, nope, wrong one. These are gorgeous colors. Yeah, I love using a red with a yellow because then you get that really cool orange in between. I love using two colors that are beside each other um, on the color wheel because then you get that third color, that triad color. So I love this. So I've mixed the yellow, which is the mustard seed, and the barn door, which is the red tone, and then I get these wonderful oranges in between. So even though I'm only using two colors, I'm actually getting three tones on my card. So that stamp, sorry about that, Caroline, I just saw your note, that your message there. This is called, it's called Lovely Florals, and it's from Mindful Moodling collection. Sorry, I'm just spraying it with water, and now I'm just kind of picking that up just to get some interest in there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to add a bit of water here. Pick up, not a lot. Just going to add just some more layers in there with color. You're not going to notice a huge difference because I'm using the same colors, but it does add a little bit in spots. That is cool. Now, this is where it becomes abundantly apparent. So the blue that you see in this one is a spray stain. So you can see how bright that is compared to these, which are both oxides, and how chalky they look. So I like the look of both of them. Some people don't like the oxides because of it, but I do love the oxides. My most favorite way of using the oxides is blending because they blend so smoothly and so seamlessly, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Just going to stir just with some water. There we go. Just going to pick up some of that ink. Just because I can't waste all that yummy color. Oh, look how pretty that is. That's pretty too. There we go. Going to continue adding layers with this ink so you can see when here's how much you get. Like, it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm just going to just wipe up the center there because I'm now going to grab, the inks in these colors. So not what, because what we started off with the oxide sprays. So now I'm going to grab the inks. So just give me a moment. Thank goodness I put these in. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, do I not have mustard seed in the ink? What the heck? Okay, let's grab just another one. Let's grab fossilized amber and barn door. Here we go. I can't believe there's an ink I don't have. How come I don't have mustard seed? What is happening? All right. So there's barn door, and I'm using fossilized amber because apparently I don't have mustard seed in the ink. So I'm going to smush that on there. Let me give that a spray. Oh, that actually was a good color choice. I love the darker yellow on that chalky background. That looks really nice. Let me dry this. Okay, so you can see fossilized amber's kind of this kind of cool. That looks cool. Now let me add in some barn door. Not a lot. Don't want to add in too much. I don't want it to, I just want to add a little bit. Now I didn't clean this up, so I'm still going to get some of the fossilized amber in there too. Okay. Yeah, see, sometimes making backgrounds is all you need to feel crafty again. Don't need to have an end project in mind. You know, maybe you're just wanting to just play, get your hands nice and inky, get your product out that you've spent your money on and just play. And because you never know what you're going to create. And colors, maybe use colors that you haven't used together before just to get some more inspiration. This one has a lot of moisture in there. I used a lot of water. Just look how fun that is. Oh, that's gorgeous. Love it. Oop, move that one out of the way. That one's not quite dry. That one's going to take a little while because I did use quite a bit of spray on it. It's getting there though. Do want to add, there is a stencil I'm thinking of. I don't know if it's one that I actually have here at the house or if I left it at the store. Just give me a second. I'm going to use this one. Oops. I'm going to use let's use these inks. So we've got Barn Door and Fossilized Amber. Barn Door and Fossilized Amber. Let's just add stenciling over to this. So remember, with these colors, because they're on the same, they're beside each other on the color wheel, I don't have to worry about inking them beside one another because they won't make mud. They're going to make a beautiful orange color. So I'm just going and I'm just putting the color in just in different areas. How fun is that? Oh, I love it. That's gorgeous. Come in and edges here. Let's switch over to our fossilized amber. Yeah, so sometimes just when you're not feeling crafty, you just grab out a couple of inks, stencil, some paper, a stamp maybe, and just play. Oh, that actually turned out really, really nice. Not bad for having zero plan ahead of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do just a quick rundown. Let me just grab everything that I worked on here tonight. This one's still not dry. Still very wet. Okay, so remember, oh, and this one. Almost forgot that one. Okay, so the stamp that I used, this one here, I actually used it a few times tonight. This is that Studio Light Mindful Moodling Lovely Florals. Now, be aware that this is a large stamp. It is probably 8 by 8. So if you have a large stamping platform, this will work for you. My stamping platforms are just a smidge too small for this. But what I did is all I did was I flipped it upside down on my work surface, just like so. Took off the plastic, inked it up, and just used it on here. Now, of course, I only get one shot at the inking. You only get one shot, but I did it on the background for this one. So I used my Wow embossing powder and white. I used my white embossing ink and my Wow emboss. Oh my gosh. I used my Wow embossing ink and my white embossing powder, and I embossed the background first. And then I sprayed on the back of this one Uncharted Mariner in the spray stain and Saltwater Taffy in the oxide spray. So the mixing of the two, purple and pink make purple. So I got this lovely, gorgeous purple color, and I absolutely love it. So I sprayed that. We dried it. I've let it air dry because some of these are a little bit thicker, but that's fine. I'll just let it air dry. Oh, Brenda, get over your fear, honey. Yeah, get out your stuff and just play. I find playing way more satisfying than actually creating anything from start to finish. The playing is really what lets you just let go, right? Okay, so there's that one. That's gorgeous. Not sure what I'd use that for yet. It would make a really nice card front. Now it is 6 by 6, so I would have to cut it down a bit, but I don't mind that. That's okay. Now, because I've inked this, the white emboss, I could go in, once it's dry, I could go in and add a little bit more doodling with a white gel pen. I could do that. And I might do that depending on where I cut it down for a card. I might cut it in half and make a couple of tags for birthday cards, but I'm really loving that. That turned out particularly well. I'm very, very happy with that one. Now this one here, exact same stamp, exact same white embossing powder, But what I did was after I sprayed the back of this tag, I had all of this ink left over. So basically all I did was just, oh no, I didn't. I sprayed it with this. That's what I did. Barn door oxide spray and mustard seed oxide spray. I sprayed on the back of this, and that's gorgeous. I love that. Now, like I said, a lot of people don't like the chalky look. They don't like the chalky look of the oxide sprays, which is fine. But if you use the barn door and the mustard seed in the spray stain, you'll get the exact same effect, but in a much brighter and richer color. So if you've got those two colors, play, have fun. This was the last one I did, and this was just sopping up the ink I had left over on the background. And then I also added barn door and fossilized amber on top as well. And then I did use a stencil over top. Now, what I'm going to do with this one is I am going to come in with my white gel pen, and I am going to go around those shapes just to help them pop off that background. I think I'm going to end up doing that. Okay, and then over here, I did start with two. These are size 10 tags. So these are the larger tags. These are the Dina Wakley Media tags. Now, these ones I did pre-gesso. I took some gesso. I took my Dina Wakley brush, and I like this one for gesso because it's got stiffer bristles on it. And so I love that it leaves here. I love that it leaves the pattern in the gesso. I don't want the gesso smooth. I really love that I get these brush strokes in there, and I just love it. So after the gesso was on and I dried it, then what I did was I did the dip and smoosh with my Distress ink in Uncharted Mariner. Distress ink, Uncharted Mariner, and Distress ink in Vintage Photo. So that's what you see there. And again, it was probably 3 or 4 times dipping it into the inks. And then this exactly swapped over to the oxides in those colors. So Distress Oxide Uncharted Mariner and Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. So you can get very different inks or very different looks just by using different types of ink. Now this one I also stamped on with the same stamp that I used here. Stamped it and again. So it does have that added layer of the inking, and then I finished off with the Vintage Photo through a stencil there. Well, I have to admit that was fun. It was fun coming in here. That I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really crafty. So I think what I'll do is I will grab my gel pen, and I'm going to make sure both of these are dry. And I think I'm going to go sit out in the sun doodling on here. And, I'll post the photos of those when I'm done the doodling on that. So I want to thank you for joining me. That was fun. And I want you all to have a good week. You can find that. And it's probably easier to find it if you want to rewatch it over on our YouTube channel. So you can go follow us on YouTube. You'll find this under our playlist that says Monday Night Live, and watch it again. And when I'm done these, I will have a QR code on the back of them. So if you're at the store and you see this and you want to know how I did it, you just have to scan the QR code that I'll put on the back, and it'll take you right to this video that making right now. So much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful night and have a great week. And I hope you are getting some crafty time in. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye.